Man, tell it, man.
It was this blind man, right?
This
man,
fool right here,
it was
man.
this blind man, right? He was feeling his way down the street with this stick, right?
Yeah.
Hey, he walked past this fish market, you know what I'm saying?
Fish market?
He stopped, he took a deep breath, he said, "Woo!"
The precise origins of the Mandan tribe are unknown. Some evidence of similar languages suggests the tribe may be closely related to the Winnebago tribe of present-day Wisconsin. The Mandan tribe ended up on the banks of the Heart River, which is present-day North Dakota. Upon their arrival there, they constructed 9 villages, 7 of which were on the west side of the river and 2 were on the east side. According to entries of Lewis and Clark's, 10 Mandans resided in each earthen lodge, and their lodges were permanent. Also, the village was the main focus of all political, economic, and ceremonial activity.
The Mandans' first encounter with Europeans was with French-Canadian explorer
Sieur de la Ventraigne
in 1738. This encounter caused a link in trading between the French and Native Americans. Ultimately, the Mandans worked as middlemen in the trade of furs, guns, horses, and crops. Because the Mandans' first encounter with Europeans became a successful relationship, they were at ease with the Europeans. This impacted their future relations because they became more receptive to Europeans that they will soon encounter, such as Lewis and Clark.
Lewis and Clark first encountered the Mandans in October of 1804. They decided to build Fort Mandan. The Mandans let the expedition remain with them for the winter, which contained temperatures of 45 degrees below. The Mandans were receptive to the goals of the expedition, and there was no resentment. They were a peaceful tribe, and as Clark wrote, "The Mandans are at war with all who make war only, and wish to be at peace with all nations, seldom the aggressors." The Mandans supplied Lewis and Clark's expedition with food, and in return they gained a steady stream of trade goods.
By treaty at the village in July of 1825, the Mandans entered peaceable relations with the United States. These treaties included the Laramie Treaty of 1851 that defined the boundaries of the northern tribes, and also the Fort Berthold Treaty in North Dakota. In 1870, a reservation was set aside by executive order for the 3 affiliated tribes, including the Mandans, Hidatsas, and Arikaras, tribes along the Missouri and the Little Missouri rivers.
These treaties were harmless to the Mandan tribe. They were able to stay where they were, and no conflict was involved. Yes. Mandans, that's my problem. Mandan Chief. There was one instance in the mid-20th century where the Mandans and their similar tribes were affected negatively by the contact with the Americans. In 1951, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers was reconstructing the Garrison Dam on the Missouri River. That ultimately flooded a portion of Fort Berthold Reservation. This was the one time the Mandans had to move locations. Beginning in 1837, the Mandan tribe was plagued by the smallpox epidemic, which was sparked by contact with the steamboat of the American Fur Company, whose passengers passed on the disease. Approximately 1,600 living in the tribe at the time. Most sources say only 125 survived the epidemic. Soon after, the tribes that were affected decided to band together and create the Like a Fishhook village. This village served as a defense against mutual enemy tribes. Obviously, European contact with the Mandans didn't play a huge part in their history until the smallpox was passed to them, destroying 93% of their population. In today's world, there are no more full-blood Mandans. The Arikara, Hidatsa, and Mandan Indians remained together after they intertwined during the smallpox tragedy. They lived together and mixed, if you catch my drift. The tribes now live in the Fort Berthold Reservation in Newtown, North Dakota, which includes a casino and a lodge that attracts tourists to the impoverished region.